Hello everyone and welcome to weekly news update number 18 for Jurassic World Evolution 2. In a little more than 3 weeks, we are getting our hands on this game, so it'll be interesting to see what last tricks Frontier is going to pull out of their hats to convince people into either a last minute pre-order or to order on launch day itself. In today's episode, the feature focus article with 5 biomes, people were starting to have doubt, but the 5th one has been revealed, and a mystery aquatic. Ooh. I'm going to put you out of your misery right away, or rather, put you into your misery, because, well, the aquatic is probably not what you're thinking, probably not what you're hoping. A lot, and I do mean a lot, of people thought this mystery aquatic could only be one thing: Megalodon. Now, if you've been watching the weekly news updates, you know that Frontier has consistently referred to the animals in the game as either dinosaurs or prehistoric reptiles. For that reason, I wasn't as excited as I was getting DM after DM from the network of spies about the possible shark fin. If you look closely at the picture and don't get too distracted by, I will say, what definitely looks like the silhouette of a shark fin, you can actually see that there's a shadow in the water above the fin. If it was the side view of a shark's dorsal fin, you'd expect to see shadows on either side of it, as in that's the creature below the water. But here there is something in the water beyond it, which immediately had me thinking that whatever is breaching the surface is actually the tail, the fluke, and not the dorsal fin. Jens Erik confirmed on Reddit in classic Frontier speak that it is not Megalodon. We don't have anything to announce about marine animals beyond marine reptiles, which we all know is Frontier's version of no, but at least it's a no for now. Technically, it leaves the door ajar for future plans, which is exactly why it's phrased that way. Still though, I wouldn't get your hopes up for later down the line either. Now that we know what it isn't, what is it? Well, to be frank, there's really no way of knowing from this picture. It could just be the tail of the Mosasaurus, and it just comes out really unfortunate, really making it look like a shark fin. It could also be the fluke of the not yet 100% confirmed Tylosaurus, which does have, you know, the upward pointing end of the fluke. And it could even be any number of other creatures. There's really no way to draw any conclusions from a picture that is this far away and this pixelated. I do think we can stop looking at other creatures with a prominent dorsal fin, because like I said, I think the shape in the water beyond it suggests that what we're seeing is a fluke. I do think it's absolutely hilarious that we look at Frontier's marketing material a lot more closely than they do, which has caused them some headaches and a bit of trouble a couple of times, and I can just imagine Jens Erik looking at all of this Megalodon hype and being like, oh shit, here we go again. I'm sorry, Jens. We are eagle-eyed. Speaking of marine animals, we also had a species field guide this week for the Plesiosaurus, and there was literally nothing noteworthy in there, at least not if you've been keeping up with the weekly news updates. If you haven't, the only new information might be that the Plesiosaurus gets spooked and eaten by the Mosasaurus, so we have to keep them away from each other. We've already seen that in action though, courtesy of another YouTuber who got early access to challenge mode a while ago. The species list so far hasn't changed this week. I did mention Maiasaura last week during last Saturday's video, but I forgot to put it on the list, sorry about that. She's on the list now, so this is what we know so far. Moving on to the biomes that were confirmed / revealed in yesterday's surprise feature focus article, and not gonna lie, it's a bit underwhelming. Let me know what you guys think. The 5th biome is definitely not what I had hoped for. First though, the 4 that we already knew about and what we can expect from them. For every biome, I'm going to put the article text on screen for you so you can pause to read if you so desire, but in the voiceover I'm just going to be highlighting the important things. I'm not going to read it out for you. I trust that you can read. The desert. We have already seen this biome several times, including in the Chaos Theory mode gameplays, but it specifically says we'll be able to use the desert biome in campaign, sandbox, challenge mode, and Chaos Theory mode, so it's going to be available in all of the modes. Keep that in mind for later because it's important for context. Interesting features of the desert are the flat terrain, little rain, didn't mean to rhyme that, and an occasional sandstorm. Sandstorms can gum up the works on your vehicles and cause overall damage in the park. How it affects the vehicle specifically, I don't know. Maybe we need to repair things before we're able to head out, or maybe the vehicles just don't work as well during a sandstorm. Next biome, taiga. It makes an appearance in campaign, sandbox, and challenge mode. Chaos Theory mode is missing here, and that makes sense. I wouldn't have predicted a need for this biome in Chaos Theory mode anyway. Expect sunshine and dense forestation around you. As we already knew, we'll be facing snowstorms in the taiga landscape, and we've already seen footage of this before and it looks great. The snow makes this the biome I'm probably looking forward to most, along with the next one, temperate. Again, we'll be going here in every mode except Chaos Theory mode, and again, that's not a surprise. Depending on the mode, we will be in different locations though, so we've seen one temperate map which is located in the UK, but it isn't like that is going to be our only temperate map. We'll have more in other locations. Interestingly, there is less snow, but not no snow, so we will be seeing some snowfall on occasion. It probably just won't transform the landscape the way we will experience in taiga. It'll probably cause less of a hassle too. The weather troubles we will be dealing with are rainstorms, mist, and tornadoes. Mist is very exciting to me. That is going to give some good opportunity for spoopy photography, I think. And the tornadoes, well, I wasn't a big fan of them in the first game, so I'm wondering if they'll work similarly, but if I had to guess, I would say so. The fourth biome is tropical. Of course, we needed this biome for Chaos Theory mode at the very least. In the tropical biome, tropical storms and hurricanes will be terrorizing our parks, as well as heavy swirling rain blowing in on howling winds. The tropical environment isn't featured in the campaign, but will depict Isla Nublar and Sorna in Chaos Theory mode and Sandbox mode. Note that Challenge mode is also missing from this lineup. Some people were confused by this because they thought that maps would be available across the modes, but I checked the feature focus article on Challenge and Sandbox mode and it says, maps from Chaos Theory and Challenge mode will be playable in Sandbox mode, offering up lots of variety to your park building experience. So while all maps we're getting in Chaos and Challenge are coming to Sandbox, it doesn't necessarily mean that the reverse is also true, as we see in the case of Tropical. And yes, I actually checked if Frontier didn't edit the article after the fact by going back to my video discussing that article, and it is a little disconcerting that we are at that level of trust, but the text hasn't been changed, so can we just please trust Frontier again? I don't think they're gonna make a habit of changing things after the fact, but I did wanted to point it out just in case someone was gonna comment, well, they might have changed it. Personally, I don't grieve much over not having Tropical in Challenge mode because I don't particularly like Challenge mode, at least not in the first game, but I do get why other people would be disappointed, and I will say that it feels kinda a lot like a manufactured limit. Why wouldn't you just chuck one of the tropical maps into challenge mode? But moving on to what I consider to be the biggest disappointment, the last biome, the mystery biome, the biome we've been speculating about, the biome I was hoping would be redwood. The fifth biome is actually alpine. And this Reddit post sums up my feelings pretty well. Not only do I think that, at least on paper as far as we know now, these biomes are way too similar for them to be 2 of the 5, it also baffles me that this is the mystery biome that they've been saving up for last. It's a little anticlimactic to say the least. But okay. You'll get to play around in the alpine environment in campaign, challenge, and sandbox mode. The weather conditions are sunshine, light rain, I feel like I'm doing the weather forecast, and the occasional snow and rainstorm. I ask you guys, is there anybody particularly excited about alpine at the moment, given that we already knew we are getting taiga? I'm honestly just curious. I hope that there's at least someone out there who looks at these two biomes, alpine and taiga, and thinks, yes, alpine is sufficiently different from taiga, which makes me more excited about alpine. Frontier ends the article with, join us for our next feature focus where we'll be taking a look at the different calamities you'll be facing in the game. So that's going to be interesting. I want to end this video with two things. One, looking at the tropical biome, it says the maps are specifically Sorna and Nublar, which means no sanctuary, which means my hope for Fallen Kingdom Chaos Theory mode is officially squashed, and it looks like my other prediction for that mode is likely to be the case. Two, I want to thank the network of spies on Discord for sending me a ton of messages after last week's video. A lot of those messages were just, hey, here's a list of 20 other YouTubers who have 1 hour long videos on the San Diego gameplay, which, like I said, I'm not going to watch all that, but thank you. The rest of the messages were about specific animations and, oh, this YouTuber released this dinosaur with a different skin color from this other YouTuber. And while I do appreciate the thoroughness and the due diligence, I don't think I'll be including all of that unless an angry mob with pitchforks materializes in the comment section. But we're only 3 weeks away from launch, only 3 weeks until we can see all those things for ourselves. So I don't think I should be out here spoiling like every single teeny tiny animation. For example, pack hunting, that was a big thing. Of course, we had to talk about that. We had to show that. That was a big question mark we had. But, you know, I feel like that's different from all of these smaller animations. Again, unless a pitchfork committee forms in the comments down below, I'm not going to showcase all of those little animation from what seems like hundreds of hours of gameplay out there. However, if you find a new species somewhere or whatever, do please let me know, but I think we'll be better off enjoying all the little ways in which they brought the dinosaurs to life when we get to play the game ourselves. But let me know in a comment down below if I misjudged that or if you just want to see everything. We only have 24 days of waiting left, people, and I cannot overstate my excitement. I want to thank you all for watching again and for your amazing support on the channel. Remember that we're going to do a very fun video on the channel if we get to the ultimate funny number of 69k subscribers before Jurassic World Evolution 2 launches. I'll be doing a Q&A meets truth or dare kind of thing where you get to ask me anything. Basically, I'm going to regret this, but I think you'll have a good laugh with it. So if you're not subscribed yet and you want to see that, but more importantly, you want to see more about Jurassic World Evolution 2, then hit the subscribe and join the square. And you might as well, you know, leave a like while you're down there, please. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy the anticipation.